Hello everyone and welcome. I'm VelvettB and thanks for joining me today for this very special speed build. So I am speed building the amazing Cullen's house from Twilight. So I built this for the Movie Homes collab hosted by Nasena, and when Nasena suggested or mentioned that it was going to be a movie homes theme, I was just, this is where my mind went. I just went, Cullen House, I want to do it. And yes, I did have regrets at some point, but I love the movies. I love the books, sort of. It's just one of those funny series where you love them, but also you have questions about why you love them. And that is always the case when I watch the movies or read the books. It's just like, why do I love these so much? But anyway, turns out I do. And this was an interesting challenge. So if you don't know me, I am a big lover of The Sims 4. I adore it. I love building in The Sims 4. It is my very, very favorite thing to do. And I love a good building challenge. So this was definitely a huge building challenge. I really enjoy a bit of gameplay, so you'll see a bit of that on my channel, as well as, some CAS from time to time. I don't feel so comfortable in CAS as I do with building, but I still enjoy it, So I do a bit of it from now and then. But today we are doing a little bit of a build, and I say a little bit of a build. I mean, this was a really large build. So I am building on the lot that Judith Ward's house comes in Del Sol Valley. So this particular part of the collaboration is situated in Del Sol Valley. So there is a couple of worlds that the collaboration is set in. So Del Sol Valley and also Moonwood Mill that came with the Werewolves pack. So those are the two worlds that are represented in the collaboration, and I got the 50 by 40 lot in Del Sol Valley, which is a good size lot, Honestly, I think that the house could have gone on a slightly smaller lot, but the 50 by 40 did work really nicely. I did have quite a few different, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Inspiration pictures. That's the word I'm going for. Inspiration pictures that I used throughout this build. So I popped some of the interior ones into the video for you guys so that you can sort of see what I was working with. Now, the house that was used for filming with for the Cullen house is actually a real house. So you can actually find pictures of how the actual really real house looks on the internet, which is was both handy and also I guess a little confusing, because I wanted to represent Twilight, the Twilight version of the Cullen house, obviously, but there wasn't that many pictures, and the pictures that you had were not the easiest necessarily to see the details. So you had to kind of separate, I had to kind of separate out the house pictures that I had to work with for how the real house is versus how the house is in the Twilight movie, if that makes sense. So that was a bit of a challenge. I think I did okay on that, but yeah, I did my best. It's not actually easy to recreate a house, and you've only got like a couple of certain views of this house on the exterior as well. So there was a lot of, particularly around the back, just kind of shaping it for myself, because the most important part for me was actually getting the front of the house to look like it does in the movie, but getting the proportions right was actually really challenging, and you'll see throughout this build that I do change it a number of times. So it's just kind of ended up like kind of stretching here and just extending there, just to get the shape and this, the shape that I needed. And then just sort of, it was a bit of guesswork around the back because I had no pictures of how the house looked on the exterior around the back at all that I could find anyway. So I was just like, right, I'm just going to guess my way through that one. Also, the layout of the interior, no idea. No idea how that layout is done for the Cullens. So again, just really had to, I guess, feel my way through it. Also, the color of this house, I just changed it I don't know how many times. So this sort of will stick for a little while, and then it will evolve as the build goes on. Just the colors, like, this isn't bad. Like, it's pretty close to how the house looks on the exterior. And I'll have some pictures up for you guys to just sort of see the inspiration that I was working to. I had a couple of inspirations on the exterior, and then there were a few inspirations. What did I have? I had Edward's room, the kitchen, the living room, and I think that was about it for the inspirations for the inside. So there was a couple of shots of the living room that I kind of worked to, and then Edward's bedroom, which I thought I did a pretty good job on, and also, yeah, as I said, the kitchen as well. I did have a shot of, so I tried my best with that one. And I remembered from the movie, there's a scene and Edward is playing the piano for Bella, and it's just this beautiful scene. Like, the piano is sitting in this sun-drenched room, and it's just kind of like you can't really see any of the details around it. But, it's just him and her, and he's playing the piano, and there's this beautiful music, and it's just, the sun is pouring in, and there's just like a lot of windows and just the piano and I think a wooden floor. That's kind of all you could sort of see of it. I imagine that was kind of shot in a studio somewhere. It's really beautiful. But I did create a music room for this build as well. So the piano will sit in a corner of this room, and it's just all surrounded by windows, and it's a wooden floor. And I just sort of kept it really simple around the piano just to kind of represent that. So I didn't really use a picture of that. I just sort of, it's a pretty strong image in my head from the movie because it's just so beautifully done. I just did create a separate music room for that because I couldn't see how the piano fit in Edward's room. Edward's room is actually not the largest room in the house. So yeah, I couldn't see how that piano, a grand piano, would fit in his bedroom. So I was like, I feel like that's going to be in an entirely separate room. So I did put that in a separate room for that one. So yeah, this build is coming along really nicely. You can sort of start to see the shape and how the exterior is coming. As I said, I did kind of have to use a bit of imagination for a lot of areas because, I didn't have a lot of information to work with in some places, but I did the best that I could. And I feel like it's a really decent representation of the Cullens and their house and who they are, and I think that's really cool. It's very modern. It's got quite a lot of geometric shapes to it. I feel like it's got quite a neutral interior, and yeah, I feel like the design is very modern, contemporary on the interior as well. So it is a very, very modern home. And I feel like I did represent that as best as I could on the inside. And again, with the likes of Edward's bedroom, which is a picture that I did happen to have. This is me extending the house. I'm just like, it's coming out. I'm just going bigger and bigger and bigger. It was quite narrow, so I needed to. But, it's just like one of those, the build is evolving kind of things. And then I had to redo that roof, of course. So, yeah, Edward's bedroom is just covered in books. So, that's just one of the iconic things about Edward's bedroom. Now, I did do Edward's bedroom pre-Bella's bed going in. So this is kind of when Edward takes Bella to the house for the first time. So this is how I was thinking of this is how I was thinking of the house when I was building it. This is Bella's first visit to Edward's house. And this is this representation of the house, or how I decided to design it, and that represents Edward's bedroom pre-Bella's bed. So he's kind of got the, the chaise lounge and the books everywhere, and it's very, very him, and like the records and bits and pieces all around the house. So that's kind of how I did that. And the bedrooms. So I'm curious if you guys can manage to guess which characters belong to which bedrooms, because I did try and give each of the bedrooms distinct personalities. So I think Edward's is going to be clear, but the other couples, I am curious to see whether or not you can get the sort of distinct personalities in each of the rooms. Well, I felt like they were distinct, but maybe that's just me. But I am curious if you guys can manage to guess which characters will be in each of the bedrooms, and I will put pictures, screenshots at the end of the video, and that will have the characters kind of in each of their rooms, or I'm going to try and do that anyway, and you should be able to get your answers there. But as you're watching, and as you're watching me create the bedrooms, just see whether or not you can guess which characters will go into each room. So I will probably leave you guys there. I just wanted to do a little bit of a chitty chat and an intro just to talk a little bit about this build, because it was a really massive build for me. It is a larger size lot, but I feel like the hardest part of this was really trying to create a version of the house that represented the Cullens. And I don't know, I feel like building or recreating a build is difficult, particularly when you've got not a great deal of inspiration to work from. It does really have its challenges, and also when it's such an iconic movie like Twilight, it's like, people are going to have their opinions on it. And so I hopefully I did capture the house as best as I did do my very best. I love this movie, and I did want to really represent it in a way that you could actually see some of the iconic things within the house, and really get that just one of those memories back of what some of these moments that happened in the movie, like when everyone's in the kitchen cooking Bella a meal and she's already eaten, and when Bella is exploring Edward's bedroom for the first time, stuff like that. And then maybe her in the lounge and she's pregnant and everybody's trying to, get her better. Oh, that storyline. Cray. So, the green truck is kind of supposed to be Bella's truck, and then you just got like a nice car in the driveway. There is a garage in the house as well, so you kind of got like a double garage, and yeah, lots of stuff around the house. But I'll let you guys get on and enjoy the rest of the build without me. So I hope you enjoy it. I'm really proud of this build. I think it came out really nicely, and yeah, I do really wish or hope that you guys sort of see the Twilight and the Cullens and Bella in this house, because I feel like I kind of got that. Well, kind of not so much Bella, but the Cullens. And you can, get that sort of memory there of the movie and how it all went. I would love it if you could comment, like, subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to check out some of the other vids on my channel. As I said, I do Let's Plays and speed builds, also some tips and tricks and bits and pieces like that along the way. So check those out, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.